Watch what happens when I hit this man's chin.
Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman train relentlessly for the WBC Super Welterweight title. Both sharpen speed, power, and strategy, pushing limits to dominate in the high-stakes clash.
Great fighter, world class, world champion. It's just the timing in front is that much better.
Well, boxing, there's no off-season.
Also matters to Thurman, more than ever. After 31 pro bouts, and after starting a family, he wants the record to show. The passion driving his rise never dimmed.
All right.
It makes it challenging, of course. The young girls don't understand how busy daddy is in a training camp, but we make it work, and I have a wonderful wife that helps a lot.
Thurman spends time with his family while his wife carefully manages his diet during the demanding training camp.
I got 31 wins on my belt, 1 loss.
He enjoys sharing his wisdom and giving valuable tips to new fighters, helping them grow and improve in boxing.
I love talking boxing. I love teaching boxing. You know, being a champion, even a former champion, it's like being a professor. It's like having your doctorate, right? For a high school dropout, I'll take it, you know?
I know I was doing 200, 300 sit-ups a day, every day leading up to this fight.
I like to always just give fighters tips and clues, and if they take my advice, that they'll be able to progress and grow quicker because I know what works, I know what doesn't work.
The sound you about to hear me make on these mitts, there ain't gonna be no mitts, it's gonna be his face, it's gonna be his body. And I just bring all of that into the ring, baby. And when I bring all that into the ring, what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? When it's game day, when you ready, ain't no mother team up in my sport, baby. Ain't no whistle blowing up in my sport, baby. It's just me and you. My feet, my hands, my athleticism versus your athleticism. My heart, my cojones versus yours, baby. Let's go, mano a mano, toe.
Moreover, Keith Thurman trains using traditional old-school boxing techniques, focusing on fundamentals, precision, and disciplined skill development in every fight differences, and believes challenges make boxing fun, keeping him entertained while doing what he loves. He trains intensely, pushing his limits, sharpening skills, building stamina, and preparing mentally and physically for his upcoming fight.
Stop questioning me and who I am and what I'm capable of.
Sebastian Fundora avoids trash talk and focuses quietly in the gym, training with determination to prove himself in the ring. Fura trains hard while following a strict diet, combining disciplined workouts and nutrition to maximize strength, stamina, and performance.
Boxing opponents change all the time. Usually it's not for the better, but this time it was.
These opportunities come out of nowhere, you just have to be ready.
Sebastian Fundora's hunger is unmistakable. It's fed by a family that lives and trains together with singular purpose. It's a pack mentality, equal parts devoted and dangerous.
We got Samson and we got Getty. These guys are pretty good. Strong bite force. Got Jill. She's ferocious. Jill. Yeah, she thinks she's a dog. That's Jill.
Every session is designed to win as Fundora pushes limits, perfects techniques, and sharpens skills for his upcoming fight.
It's a great fight, man, you know? I mean, I love fighting the best. And Fundora's that man right now, you know? He's got the WBC world title. And he's got some great victories under his belt. He's growing. He's maturing. And like you said, man, I mean, he's just an obstacle for anybody at 154. But there ain't no test like the Thurman test, you know? Some way, somehow, I find a way to do it better than the rest, all right? The way that I get up in there and I start throwing these hands, you know, that's the real fire. He calls himself the Towering Inferno, but I'm a Florida boy, so you know I already been packing that heat my whole life.
We all want the same thing. We all want to win. All want to be the champion, the best in the world.
I would say every morning you got a chance and you got a choice. You know, there's no such thing as luck. That's what you make of it.
I tell my dad the ones I hate are the good ones, and I hate this one. Maybe it's just the want. I want it more.
Bora not only focuses on winning his fight, but also aims to win over Keith Thurman's fans, earning admiration and respect through his skill, determination, and remarkable performance in the ring, showing that talent, strategy, and heart can turn spectators into supporters while proving his dominance and dedication.
All these things can come last second. You know, with the last fight with Tim Tszyu, we got that call 11 days before.
Boxing opponents change all the time. Usually it's not for the better.
Meanwhile, Keith Thurman says, "When I hit Sebastian Fundora, every cell in his body will awaken." The story excites him, but his heart feels heavy, and he does training and faces the toughest challenges at 154 pounds. His goal is to satisfy his heart and soul, and the only way to do that is under the bright lights of the MGM Grand against Sebastian Fundora, the towering Inferno. Thurman believes this fight,
and I don't want to live with a sad heart. And that's why I'm in here grinding, and that's why I'm taking up the youngest, toughest, one of the biggest challenges at 154 today, is just because I need to satisfy my heart and my soul, and the only way of doing that is getting in the bright lights, MGM Grand against Sebastian Fundora, the towering Inferno. And then to put a smile on my face, we gotta make it manifest, baby. Timber! And it's gonna make everything bitter taste so sweet. You know, only some people know that feeling where you can take all that bitterness in life and you can convert it back into something sweet that manifests, man. And I'm just an optimistic soul. I believe in my skills, my talent, everything that I've learned in this sport of boxing, and that this journey, like Ward was saying, man, this is that second time Keith Thurman is going to show the world, you know, what he brings to the table in the sport.
only a few understand how to channel life's hardships into motivation, and he considers himself an optimistic fighter who trusts his skills and experience. This marks the second time Keith Thurman will showcase his abilities to the boxing world. He acknowledges Fundora's strengths, especially his tall frame and effective uppercuts inside. However, Thurman also notes vulnerability, carefully evaluating defense before offense. Fundora has been touched by opponents like Tim Tszyu, Eric and Lubin, and others, showing his defense is not perfect. While Fundora overwhelms with volume punching, Thurman relies on skill, strategy, and precision to counteract the pressure. This fight will test stamina, skill, and heart. And Thurman is ready to prove his superior.
Everybody. So his defense is not a 10, you know? It's not a 10. His offense is a form of his defense. That's what they say. When they declare somebody a volume puncher, that means that his volume is really a problem. And he's breaking people down with the volume and overwhelming them and things of that nature. You know, I've never been notorious for volume. I have a good punch count, but not notorious for volume. When I was gonna fight Sean Porter, I knew Sean Porter was gonna throw more punches than me. I had to be more precise than him, and I had to nullify his offense with my defense. That's what defense does, it nullifies offense, okay? And so I'm gonna have to use those skills, those tactics, and I'm gonna have to be sharper and make statements each and every round, you know, to get that highlight.
Boss Ennis breaks down the upcoming clash between Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman, emphasizing the key aspects of the matchup. He begins by acknowledging Fundora's style. He throws a lot of punches and can box when he wants, but prefers fighting on the inside. In contrast, Keith Thurman is a versatile puncher who can move well and box when necessary. Andis notes that both fighters are highly skilled, making this contest a genuine 50-50 matchup. Andis reflects on facing taller opponents like Fundora in the past. He explains that success requires speed, clever movement, and forcing taller fighters to do things they are not used to. Most tall boxers rely on their reach and wait for opponents to come to them. To counter this, he advises switching up strategy.
But he likes to fight inside. Then you got Thurman, a puncher. He can box and he can move. Thurman is not a bad fighter at all. He's a good fighter. You know what I mean? Both of them good fighters, man. So I don't know what to say about that. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say who win. I call it a 50-50.
Yo, have you ever went up against somebody that was like that size at that kind of weight class?
I don't box guys like that.
Yeah. How do you have success against them?
Man, how I had success, I was quicker. I used to box box, move, make them do something they normally don't do. Because most of the box, if guys is tall and box, they normally don't have to move and come after nobody. The guys normally come to them. So you gotta switch up sometimes. Make them come to you and set them up. You know what I mean? Even though you're supposed to box your way in and go to the body and the head, sometimes you gotta switch them to me. Put this together. You know what I mean? I like fighting guys like that.
Keith's been Keith was a big puncher at 147.
Right.
Hasn't had knockouts in a while.
Yeah.
We've seen Fundora hit the deck before.
Right.
We've seen Fundora stop. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, do you try to set up the one shot, or do you try to slowly break Fundora down?
I would not try to set up no one shot. You got to put them punches together when you're fighting a guy like Fundora. You know what I mean? Then later on, you stick that shot in and try to take him out. You know what I mean? That right hand, you know what I mean? Every time Fundora fights, he drops his hands. He's so tall, he drops his hands. That's when you slide in and drop down and come up top, boom, with the right hand and left hook behind it. Not just one shot, you know what I mean? Just in case you miss with the right hand. But you gotta get in. You gotta get in sometime. You know what I mean? Then sometime I would switch up. You know what I mean? Frustrated. You gotta frustrate.
The analysis continues as Andis highlights Keith Thurman's power. Although Thurman has been a strong puncher at 147 pounds, knockouts have been scarce recently. He also discusses Fundora's tendency to drop his hands during fights, which presents a clear opportunity for counterattacks. Andis emphasizes the importance of putting punches together instead of relying on a single shot. By combining the right hand with a left hook and staying active inside, a fighter can exploit Fundora's defensive lapses while minimizing risk. Ultimately, Andis praises both fighters as talented, skilled, and dangerous. The battle between Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman will test strategy, precision, and timing. Fighters who can adapt, capitalize on openings, and maintain focus will gain the upper hand in what promises to be a thrill.
It's changing. It's not like how you guys used to fight, and I remember watching you guys on TV and it was like, dang, that's where I want to be. But now you have these YouTubers, now you have everybody else coming in, and anybody can get a belt, and anybody can be a superstar in the sport, which is nice. I'm not gonna bash them, but it's like, I've been training my whole life for this, and this guy who just, you know, did nothing with the sport, now he's fighting on the same platform, he's fighting on Netflix, and it's like, dang, what'd I do all this for, you know?
Champ, I've heard knockout being thrown out from both sides, the Thurman side, the Fundora side. What can the fans expect March 28th at the MGM Grand?
You know, you expect a firefight. I expect to bring my best. I expect Thurman to bring his best as well. So, you know, two hard hitters, there has to be a...
Sebastian Fundora reflects on the changing landscape of boxing, acknowledging that he might retire earlier than expected. He loves the sport, but it isn't the same as when he grew up watching fights on TV. Back then, the path to greatness required years of dedication, skill, and discipline. Fundora trained his whole life with that vision, striving to reach the top through hard work and perseverance. Now he observes a new era in boxing where YouTubers and other personalities can gain belts and become superstars quickly. While he doesn't bash them, Fundora admits it can feel frustrating to see individuals without a traditional background competing on major platforms like Netflix. After years of sacrifice, he wonders if the value of that dedication is diminished. Despite these changes, Fundora remains focused on his craft, training hard and proving himself in the ring, determined to show that skill and discipline still matter in modern...
He's dangerous. What's so dangerous? Y'all told me Tim Tszyu is he's so scary. He's the biggest and baddest. Man, come on. Why? What's so scary, bro?
6'6", come forward fighter, throws punches and bunches, southpaw.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Fundora might hit you, but can he really hit me? We gonna find out. All right? My name's not Tim. All right? I'm not Erickson Lubin. I'm not like the others. It's one time. This is one time. Been different. I'm different.